Hey, this is Dave. Thanks for joining me today on this episode of Living an Abundant Life. Today's episode is episode 3 of Ordering Your Financial World. In this series, I'm going through 6 steps for getting your financial world in order. Those 6 steps are tithing and charitable giving, setting up a reserve fund, paying off debt, patience, paying into your retirement accounts, and investing. Today's episode, we look into setting up a reserve fund. After you have begun to tithe and/or set up a charitable giving plan, you need to set up a $1,000 reserve fund. For some of you, this won't be difficult, and you'll be able to set it up very quickly, reserving $1,000. For others of you, this might be a little bit more challenging, might take some time. So here are some ideas that might help you in getting the funds together to set up your $1,000 reserve fund. Stop eating at restaurants so often and getting coffee every day at your favorite coffee house. You need to cancel your subscription plans. Many of us have subscription plans that over the years we've signed up for, and they've just become a place where we leak money. Things like Disney Channel, Netflix, Amazon Prime, your gym membership. You need to cancel these, let's just say for the next 3 months, and see which ones you truly do miss. Those you go ahead and re-up after 3 months. Those that you haven't missed or just haven't needed anymore, you will have canceled that bill and no longer have to pay it. For some of you, you may have an extra car. Sell that extra car and use that money to go towards your reserve fund. Or if you have recently purchased a new car or you have a newer car, maybe you need to sell that car for more than what you owe on it and get into a cheaper car. That would be a way to get that $1,000 reserve very quickly. You can get a temporary part-time job. Right now in the United States, unemployment's at an all-time low, and the amount that is being paid to people for jobs that would normally lower paying jobs is quite high. You could do one of these jobs part-time for 3 or 4 months and easily save up enough to fund your reserve fund. Those of you that are so inclined, you can start a side hustle. Doesn't mean you have to spend money to start a side hustle, but you can do different odd jobs and projects for your friends and neighbors, and just a way to collect some money quickly. Also, we are a nation of having too much stuff. Take this opportunity to sell your stuff on Craigslist or have a yard or garage sale, or even on Facebook Marketplace. And you can sell some of your items that you no longer use quickly and get a quick $1,000. The point is that you need to get that $1,000. Get that in reserve. So the next question would be, where do I put this $1,000? Well, you're going to want to put it in a place that's not easy to get to. So if you can if you have a savings account at a bank, you can put it there, but you also don't want to put it into an account where they're charging you every month to have it. Putting money in a credit union could be a good idea because they allow you to have a lower balance without charging the service charge. The most important part though is that you don't want this to be money that you have quick access to, that you're just going to spend on a whim. It needs to be money that you have in reserve that you think about before you spend it. Which brings us to the last point. What is this $1,000 for? This $1,000 is for emergencies. You don't want to be putting it on your debt. That could be your first question. Well, why don't I just put this $1,000 on my debt? Because for many of you, getting out of debt is going to take a long time. It's going to take a year or more. And so you need to have this reserve fund for emergencies. Things like your car breaking down, needing new tires, an unexpected trip to the doctor, anything like that. You're going to use this $1,000 to pay that bill, and then before you put any more money on your debt, you're going to reserve that $1,000 again. You always want to have that reserve funding fully funded before you're putting extra money on your debt. Having this reserve fund seems like a very easy concept. It seems like something that everybody would have, but you'd be surprised at how many people don't have any additional money set aside for when an emergency happens. You need to have an emergency fund set aside so that you don't have to go further into debt when something does happen. Thanks for joining us on today's episode. I hope you're living an abundant life. I hope you hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed what you listened to, and have a great day.